Right, we're off to the GTI today to go and get some parts delivered and stuff like that for it. It's a really hot day, as you can tell by my face in England. It's just ridiculously warm. I don't know what the humidity is today, but so we're off to Rotherham. As some of you may know, some of you may not know, I own a couple of Mark II Golfs. One's a GTI and one's a driver. Been building these cars, well, I've been trying to build these cars for the last 10 years. Unfortunately, due to my health issues, I have been struggling quite a bit actually, so I've now had to pass the baton on to somebody else to help finish the project, as I can't do it anymore. So as you can tell from the back, we're off to go and drop some parts off. So I do apologise if the cameras aren't as good as each other, because I've got a new one on the front of the car and this one I'm filming on my phone. So yeah, we're going to set off now. It's going to take us about an hour to get there, hopefully not. But yeah, this weather. Ladies and gentlemen, we've finally fucking made it to our destination. So yeah, we'll unload the car, go around and see Dave and see what he's up to today, then, shall we? Oh, I think he's here now. Say hello, Dave. That's the guy that's building the GTI for me. So we'll go and take a look at that in the parts in a minute. See you soon. Right, hey guys, here we go. I've got one of my cars here. Mark II GTI that's been, yeah, sat for a while. But plans is to restore it, get it built up. And hopefully, but Dave, how long do you think it's going to take?
Oh, well, we're going to have it driving next summer, that's for sure. That's the aim.
There you go. Next summer, hopefully, it should be done.
The shows. Yeah.
I'm not going to show you all the parts because I don't want to give away exactly what I'm doing. But I've been collecting parts for the last, fucking hell, 10 years or so now. It's got to be. So, but yeah, this is one of the cars. As you can tell, she needs some love, some work. But she's going to get there eventually. I can tell I paid someone to do some welding and they absolutely fucking destroyed my car. So, Dave's going to rip all that out, re-weld everything back in. I've got new roof lining. Yeah, basically, the shells are back to bare metal and start all over again, which is what we're going to need because it's, well, we didn't think the engine's been out in, what, how many years, Dave?
Well, since it was new, I think.
Something like that, because the amount of crap and how welded in these bolts were.
Crankshaft pulley needed...
oh, did we get that off?
Yeah, well, yes, we have. Yeah.
We'll have a look at that in a second, because I remember Dave telling me that he had a fucking nightmare even trying to get it off.
Yeah.
So we'll have a look at that in a minute, but we'll let Dave explain what does he have to do so far to try and get this engine into pieces, because yeah, it's... I hadn't drove it for, what, it's got to be fucking hell, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 years now. I put it on the driveway, started work on it, unfortunately health kicked in and I didn't be able to finish it, so we sent it round to Dave, for Dave to have a fucking bash at it, and see what it looks like. Here we go, engine wise, so Dave can explain what's gone off, what he's doing, and whatever else.
Yeah, so we managed to start stripping the engine, and well, you can see, if you look at the block now, everything that you've got on here is after 5, 6, maybe 7 hours of cleaning back. Obviously this is going to get sent away to an engineer to have it properly reconditioned. But what we wanted to do first was get it to a point where we could assess any anomalies in terms of any damage, anything that was quite wrong. So yeah, managed to get the head off quite straightforward, but every other bolt that was bolted onto here, including the crankshaft pulley itself, so the pulley that sits on top of the gear that sits there, all 4 of these bolts were absolutely seized in, and it was a nightmare. So if you know these pulleys themselves, to get into that was an absolute nightmare. But obviously got that off, got the head off, and it looks good. There's things that we know we're going to need to restore as we go through this process, but actually in terms of the engine itself, pistons, cylinder bores, camshaft, it's all looking pretty good, and we're all very happy with it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it come back together. But the next phase with this is to have it sent away, make sure that everything's crack tested, skimmed, everything's cleaned properly cleaned, so it goes actually back to OEM colours. So we're not going to paint it, we're not going to make it look anything that it shouldn't do. it'll go back in as it came out of the factory, so it'll look absolutely pucker. So yeah, really pleased to see where we go from there.
Changing some bits and bobs in here anyway, but we'll let
so
Dave
we're going to
explain
replace all the bearings and shells, casings, buckets, possibly valves. Yeah, we might do the full beans, piston rings. All of that will be replaced as a matter of course. But obviously when it goes away to the engineers to be tested, if then they turn around and say that there's a problem with the crank or the camshaft or the pistons themselves, then obviously we can address that when we get to it.
Yeah.
But for now, I think the major components of the engine we can use, restore, and get them to be as they should be in terms of drivability and the engine build. The service items that you would replace when you restore an engine anyway, we're going to do that anyway.
Nice one.
No problem.
Nice one. Yeah, let's flip this. Nice one, Dave. Nice one. Yeah, like I said, sending it off. I think I'm going to keep the engines completely utterly standard. I am tempted to stick a bit more power in it, but I think we might save that for a later date. Because obviously I've still got this car to do, which is here, and I've got my other car outside, which I'll also show you in a second. Sorry about the sweat. It is extremely humid and hot in England for once, which we're not used to. But yeah, as you can tell, we'll